Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mad Science Lab on the Fantasy Football Universe. I am Aaron St. Dennis. Find me everywhere at FF Mad Scientist. Joined today by Yvette Laboy. What's yours? Yvette M. Laboy on Twitter? Something like that?
That's it.
Oh, I remembered it. Awesome. 9 o'clock in the morning, and my brain still somewhat functions. I'll tell you what, I learned the hard way how loud my intro is at 9 o'clock in the morning. Won't do that
I
again.
loved it. I was actually feeling the opposite. I was like, dang, that's exactly what I needed. There's nothing better when you start at a beautiful intro and coming in like that, like LFG. That's what I gotta say.
Not for me, and I didn't even go out last night. I just 9 o'clock hit, and then I hit the intro, and I said, "Oh, why is it so loud?"
I loved it.
Yeah, I'm not a morning person. I think it shows. So, before we get into some Cleveland Browns preview here, you want to tell everyone where they can find you and your work?
Awesome. Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm very, very excited to be here. You can find me at like you said earlier, Yvette M. Laboy on X, Twitter. I am nothing. I know my handle is so boring, but it's like when you started your Twitter so long ago, you know what I mean? I didn't know what to do, and I never changed it from that. I kind of wish I didn't have my whole name on there, but anyways, I put my whole life out there anyway, so you might as well. I should put my address after that. Yvette, I'm a little bit. Anyway, so
No, don't do that.
JK, I kid. You can follow me there on X. You can also find me at Bougie Sports on Facebook, and on Instagram at Bougie Sports Yvette, and on YouTube at Bougie Sports. And I do have a website long story short, I own both bougie, I almost said booby sports. Oh my God. bougiesports.com and bougiesports.net. So we're at bougiesports.net right now.
I'm not kidding. I'm kind of curious to type in booby sports now and see what comes up. I want to see what's on that.
I'm sure
it is too. But
then you're on algorithm all day. Every time you use your phone, you're going to be seeing boobies everywhere. So
awesome. My phone's listening. I'm sure that'll be recommended after I get off the show here. But I had 2 Twitter accounts when I started. One was the boring one with just my name, and the other one, someone told me just add FF and then come up with a creative name. And that one somehow took off, and the other one has my normal one has 4 followers. So I just came up with the pseudonym. All right, so we've got a Michigan man and an Ohio gal here. Let's see if this ends in a fist fight, but I don't think it will, because I think we're both big fans of Cleveland, the Browns anyways. I was really high on this. They were my AFC team all last year. I even had them over the Ravens. So I championed them pretty much last year. So you might have the one well, I'm not an Ohio. I'm not a Michigan person per se. I live in Windsor across the river, so I guess I might not take it that personal. But you have the one Detroit area person who's actually in on the Browns. So yes, let's get right into it here. The quarterback room. There's not much of a competition here, at least we hope. It's Deshaun Watson, finished as QB 35 last year. Going as QB 21, and the backups are Jameis Winston, who came from the Saints, Tyler Huntley, who came from the Ravens, and DTR, second year out of UCLA, who played quite a bit last year, and I thought he was, serviceable when called into action. What do you think here? Was that a laugh? What do you think here at this quarterback room? Not a DTR fan?
No, absolutely. I think that was a great adjective to describe it. You're just trying to be friendly, and it's hard to say because I know what you mean by DTR. He came in when he had to last year for the quarterbacks. We went through 4 quarterbacks, so I'm happy that we have 4 now because we might need them all. I'm hoping that we don't. I'm thinking that Deshaun Watson is going to be our quarterback, and I think that the room though is good. Last year, if anything, taught us how valuable it is to have an extensive quarterback room. The backup quarterback is a very important role. How many backups did we play last year?
DTR, Joe Flacco, I think.
Yeah.
See, DTR as a rookie, I thought he was really athletic, so I thought he would fare a little bit better. But as a rookie, it's no surprise here. I really hope Deshaun Watson bounces back. I don't know if he's ever going to be the top 5 he used to be, but I had a bunch of super flex leagues where I punted or missed out on quarterback, and he is my so I really hope Deshaun Watson comes back. I know he's going as QB 21 off the board. I don't expect him to finish that low. I don't expect him to be QB 5, but QB 21 seems really low. Do you think he can get back into the top 12 here for fantasy?
Oh, absolutely. I also think that number is attached to Deshaun Watson's always going to be lower than what he should be at because of who he is, and it's the truth. I actually did a poll not that long ago, and it was pretty overwhelming to see that most people agreed that nobody wants to like Deshaun Watson, so everybody's ranking him lower than they should anyhow. But I guess on the other end of that, we haven't seen the Deshaun Watson that we did see in Houston, like you said. I do think this is a year, and I'm one of the cheerleader, rah, 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 Browns girls. I mean, duh, we all know that. But I will say that if, Deshaun Watson doesn't show us this year, I know people don't like that. The rest are, but bearing injury and coming back, I think he wants to win, and I think he's ready. I'm ready. So
Yeah.
let's go.
I don't have to like him to think he's going to be good. Like, I don't know. Antonio Brown was a whack job and his fantasy points still counted. So it
Right.
doesn't really impact me. He's on my fantasy team. I don't have to like him. So I'm buying in. QB 21 is way too late. Like, I think he has top 5, 6, 7 upside. So if I can get him at QB 21, like he's going in a ridiculous range. So I'm all in.
Especially since he passes the ball and he can run.
Yeah.
He can do
Yeah.
it all. There's not that many that can, but and he does have like a good rapport with the other guys on the team. So I think that's important.
Like you said, though, it's all bias about who he is because how many times have we seen players miss? Like Michael Thomas missed like 3 years, and we were still buying in for 3 years, saying, "Oh, he's going to come back. He's going to be good again." But nope, because Deshaun Watson, people don't like him personally. All of a sudden, he's dead. So I'm going to buy the discount. I'll just take him and hope he's a low end QB1 that I got for free.
Yeah, just take that dirty discount.
Yeah, I don't care. It's fantasy
That
football.
dirty D, the dirty D.
No, there's no room for morality in fantasy football. But so we'll move on to the running backs, which is where it gets really interesting for me. We have Nick Chubb coming off of injury, Jerome Ford, Deonta Foreman, Pierre Strong Jr., and Naheem Hines. I have an insane amount of Jerome Ford because he's going almost free. And it's because I worry Nick Chubb's going to take some time to be at full speed here. What do you think of the running backs?
I think you're exactly right. It's so sad to talk about the running back room and not, just explode on Nick Chubb. And the fact that, people weren't even looking at him because of the injury last year, it just makes me so sad. But I guess the upside of that is, like you said, there goes the sneaky steal in Jerome Ford, because I do believe that he did great for us last year. And I think he will continue to do, to continue on that trend. I don't know what I think about Nick Chubb coming back this year. I'm going to say he is going to come back because I believe in him, but I don't think at the beginning. I don't know. Yeah. People think everything in Cleveland's so hard. We're so divided as fan base.
It worries me because even like the ones we've seen, J.K. Dobbins comes back. Even the ones that do come back, they miss some games, and it takes a while for them to get up to full speed. And he's an older running back. It's just, for me, like I said, it was Jerome Ford's going so late in every draft I've done that I started to target him, but I think I'm not the only one doing that because the last few weeks he's really starting to. I was getting him in like the 14th, 15th round. Now he's going in the 8th and 9th round. So I think people are starting to catch on that maybe Nick Chubb's not going to be ready. Do you have any interest in any of these guys as dart throws here? Foreman, Strong, or Hines? Kind of just injury.
I was thinking, doesn't that remind you of your fantasy football bench? for the last 10 years.
Yes, it kind of does.
So,
Naheem
um,
Hines, the PPR guy.
oh, did he play for the Colts?
Colts, yeah. I think Colts last year. Oh, no, it was the Bills last year, Colts before that, I think.
Okay. Well, maybe he had a moment where he was good on the Colts. I don't know. I remember a moment with him. So,
Well,
um,
he was that guy where in a PPR league you started him because he caught a ton of passes, but he didn't really do much else in any other league. So he was
yeah,
that guy.
yeah. I think that they have the skill set to be what we need. With hopefully, we do get Nick Chubb back and we have Jerome Ford. Yeah. Um, I'm happy to see what they're going to look like in training camp, and it's so early to see how they're fitting in with the Browns. But I mean, like I said, there's a bunch.
We will move on to the receiver. It seems like every position here on Cleveland, there's a value that I have a ton of. And it's funny because as you entered the green room, I was drafting another share of Amari Cooper, who is the one here. He's going off the board as wide receiver 24, and that's too low. Next up, we have Jerry. Excuse me, got the hiccups today. Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, Cedric Tillman, who I loved coming into his rookie year, but he hasn't done much. Jamari Thrash out of Louisville, and David Bell out of Purdue. I know, having been in mock drafts with you, you're a big fan of Amari Cooper. What do you think of the Cleveland receiver room?
Boy, like I don't know. I don't know about you, but I'm getting hard just going through this whole lineup. So starting from the beginning down. I don't see let's talk about these wide receivers here. Yeah, there's my boy Amari Cooper, the silent wonder, just like Nick Chubb. God, we need to sign him. I hope we do sign him. The weakest link, I think, is Elijah Moore. Jerry Jeudy. I love Cedric Tillman. The word is that Cedric Tillman is killing it in Cleveland, and I look for him to be like the deep threat. So I'm going to be taking a lot of Cedric Tillman too. Where is he going? I think he's another one that I know he didn't do as good last year, like you were saying, but what I've heard, listening to Browns radio and Browns talk, is they're high on Cedric Tillman and Jerry Jeudy, probably fading Elijah Moore, and then I love Amari Cooper. How's that? FMK.
Tillman's going as wide receiver 121, and I seem to have the higher the low here. I have an insane amount of Cooper, and then in the last rounds, I have a lot of screw it. I'll put Tillman on my taxi squad. I have a little bit of Jeudy when he falls. I have almost no Elijah Moore, so I agree with you there. He seems to go. Him and Jeudy seem to go closer than the ADP would indicate, and I like Jeudy much more than I like Elijah Moore. I'm not sure why people are completely out on Jeudy. At wide receiver 56, I'm more than willing to take a chance, but so far I have a ton of Watson, I have a ton of Ford, I have a ton of Cooper, and I know when we look at the tight end down here, which we will do now, I have a ton of David Njoku, who's also going. When he finished as tight end 5 last year, he's going as tight end 9, backed up by Jordan Akins and Giovanni Ricci, who don't do a whole lot. Akins I liked a bit in Houston, but I guess we can transition here. I know for a fact you're an Njoku fan. I've seen the pictures. What do you think?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I think not only am I a huge fan of him, I think he's, where Nick Chubb, he's still part of the team, but he was like heart of the Cleveland Browns. I think that's the chief now in David Njoku. And I'm so excited. I got him in the Scott Fish Bowl. And honestly, I think I don't know. We're still drafting here. I was in the Cleveland live draft, so I'm one of the few people that have a team going, and we're slow drafting right now.
Why do you got to rub it in? I forgot you got to. So how does it work? You get to do the first 10 rounds live, and then they switch you over to slow draft?
Yeah, I mean, that's money.
Oh,
I mean, I love it. I think I want to run my own league that way. I mean, especially I think what's nice, but these guys are rushing, which I think is funny because I thought I'm like, okay, because of the the return rule and stuff. We in training camp hasn't started. I'm like, this is awesome. Like the first 10 rounds, whatever. But we could chill back now, and take our time, but they're going, and I already had made them 2 more picks. So
Are you're still going, or did they pause it? Because like the rest of us don't start for 7 days.
They're still going.
Oh, okay.
They're drafting already.
Wow.
Yeah,
Lucky
this
you. I'm
morning.
jealous. That's not cool. You get to do it, nobody else does.
You
Man.
know what? I hate to rub it in, but all day I'm gonna get notifications about so and so took this person. It's so fun. I love it. I'm like, oh my god, this is happening right now. Hey, I know this is going off topic, but I would like on Sleeper, I started doing a couple mock drafts. And I didn't know that they give you like a notification. I must have forgot, because I didn't care. And it was like, you're up on the draft. And I was like freaking out because I thought it was my Scott Fish draft, because it looks
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Yeah, they all do. Yeah.
And and then it's like an auto picture turn. And I thought I thought it was into my life, I'm like, what? But then,
Is your fishbowl draft on Sleeper?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because some of the live ones are on MFL, and I can't do MFL. It's just a nightmare for me. It doesn't work out. You have to use it on the desktop app. But so having looked at this roster, I'm going to have an insane amount of Browns on my team this year. I'm going to have a lot of Njoku. I already have a ton of Cooper, some Tillman, a ton of Jerome Ford, and a ton of Watson. But the moment of truth for you, who's one player you're targeting and one player you're avoiding? I think I know who the avoid's going to be, but the target's going to be tough because there's like 6 of them. So what are your thoughts?
I already said I'm fading Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
I just don't see it working out there. Yeah, that's who I'm fading. And I think as far as targets, and if we're going to talk about ADP, you know what? I'm going to say Cedric Tillman. I mean, what if? What if? Like what I hear, he has a talent and they like him. I think Amari Cooper is another one too, because he's not where he should be, but I think he's going to rise up. I really do. I think people are starting to see that Amari Cooper.
It's so tough for me because there's so many that are values that I have everywhere. But I've already told you this once, and I'm going to say it again at the expo. I'm going to feed you drinks and just make you say Amari Cooper over and over again. I literally say Cooper. It's so awesome.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That'll happen, but because we'll be drinking and talking about the Browns. So yeah, I'm so excited for the expo.
Moment of truth here. We're going to take a look at the schedule. I will say the game. You just have to tell me if it's a win or a loss.
Oh my god, this is gonna be so fun! I'm so excited.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I told you this in the green room. I've had some homerism going on. Every team in the NFL is going to finish with 12 wins this year, apparently. So I'm sure this will be another one because
is this the Browns schedule or anybody's?
No, this is just the Browns. So
okay.
All right. Start off home against the Cowboys.
Oh, that's a W.
All right. On the road in Jacksonville.
Dub.
All right. Home to the Giants.
Oh, it's easy W.
With the exception of Dallas, they start off pretty easy here.
Yeah.
Road against the Raiders.
Oh, Las Vegas. I'm going to be there. Half of Cleveland's going to be there. That's a W. We're not going to lose there in front of everyone. No way.
That's a long trip.
Yeah. Well, 4-hour flight for us. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Week 5 at the Commanders. That's a W.
That's a W. I like Jaden Daniels, though. So
it's still a W.
It could be a shock. Yeah. That's a W. Yeah. Give me a dub on that.
Gets a little more interesting here. Week 6 at the Eagles.
I'll take an L for that. After winning 5 in a row, they're going to be very tired.
You just find yourself trying to find 1 or 2 L's here that you have to take, but
yeah, exactly. And we did the lineup. I have the Eagles. The Eagles are good.
Week 7.
They're tough at home. Very tough at home. Crowd fans.
Week 7, home to the Bengals.
Oh God, that's easy. That's a bye week. W.
That's a bye week.
That's a Bengals. Look at the stats. What is the stats? We owned Joe Burrow as our baby.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Week 8, home to the Ravens.
You know what? I'll take an L there because
right.
If I'm going to be realistic, they love to break my heart. The Browns break my heart. And we're going to be at home, so that'll be a real bad heartbreaker. And that's, AFC North game. It's going to be a tough game. I hope we win, but
Week 9, they get the Chargers at home.
Oh, we're not going to lose again after Lamar Jackson came.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So you have them 7-2 going into the bye week, where they come out and they go to New Orleans week 11. That's a W.
Yeah.
I'm a New Orleans fan.
And don't even ask about the next one. Just put those two. You don't even. Those are W's.
Okay. All right. I put
those
two
are W's. Those are W's
for the team we don't speak of. Week 13 at Denver. Yeah, that's an easy win.
Yeah.
10-2, 11-2. Week 15, home to the Chiefs.
I'm trying to be. I think that's a dub. I just have a feeling. I think that's gonna be a statement win. We're at home. Travis Kelce's coming home, so he's gonna. I don't know. Maybe T Swift will be there. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Yeah, she might have to see what. I can't believe we don't know yet if she's gonna be on tour. Then I'm sure somebody knows.
Week 16 at Cincy.
Again, that's her baby. That's neat. That's another bye week.
Week 17, home to the Dolphins.
And I see the Ravens coming after that. Holy moly. Those two are going to be. I'm not going to say we're going to lose twice. I got to split the AFC North. So I'm going to give us a W there. I'll take the L for the Miami game.
All right. You have them going 14-3. So that would be.
That's nuts. Oh my God. In the hardest schedule. And they said we have the hardest schedule.
Well, to be realistic, okay.
All
so
the AFC North.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could see them losing as many as 5 games, but if you told me they'd beat, because the ones I don't like Baltimore twice, KC once, but if you told me they could pull out the other 2 NFC East games, I wouldn't call you crazy. So I could see 3 losses. I could see 5 losses, but they've got the ones that are like the Giants, the Jags, Commanders, Raiders, Bengals twice. Those are all pretty easy wins. Broncos. So they have 5 or 6 really tough games and a bunch that they should steamroll. So, well, thank you for joining me. You wanted to take one more shot here, tell everyone where they can find you before we call it a day and I head back to bed.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That was so fun. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel really excited for Brown season now doing that. So thank you. And again, you can find me at Bougie Sports across all social media. Looking forward to football season and fantasy and everything else. So thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Thank you very much for joining me. If you'd like to see any of these team previews, this one's Cleveland, head over to fantasyfootballuniverse.com where we have the schedules. We have depth charts on both offense and defense. And come the in season, this will be helpful to you. The little weather widget we have here that updates live for each individual stadium. Let you know if you've got kickers here, what kind of weather you're looking at, heavy winds, snowy game. That could be useful during the season. Once again, thank you to Yvette for joining me, and thank you all for tuning in. Take care, and we will see you tomorrow when we have Louis G with the New York Jets.
That's my wife. Somebody said hi. Bye, guys.
Bye.